sounded mad. I don't think she liked me pointing out her mole or that I knew a word she didn't. I took a step back and said, "It means you could die from it." "You can't die from a mole," she said. "Yes, you can. My mom did." Lily's expression made me step back again. "No, you can't," she said. Her hand dropped from her chin and became a fist. I should have shut up at that point, but I couldn't. In my 7-year-old mind, I felt it was my duty to warn her of the danger she was in. If Lily had a mole, then she might have cancer. The doctor said my mom would have been fine if she had known about her cancer sooner. I said, "It's true, and you could have cancer, and you could die." Then, Lily punched me in the face. That mole was the reason I recognized Lily on my first day of high school 8 years later. Being punched in the face had lodged the exact size, shape, and location of that little mole into my memory like a handprint, or, in this case, a fist print, in setting cement. I fought the current of students in a congested hall between classes. No easy task when you're only 4 feet 10.5 inches tall and weigh 90 pounds. When you're as short as I am, it's hot, humid, confusing, and claustrophobic to be trapped in a crowd. I felt like a baby calf separated from its mother in the middle of a wildebeest stampede. I tried to cut out to the side, aiming to duck through a doorway before I was trampled to death. When I reached the doorway, I looked up and saw a silver women's bathroom sign. I panicked and tried to veer away, only to be knocked to the ground by somebody's chest. Now, I'm short and all, but this guy was way over 6 feet tall. He stood like a tree in the middle of the stampeding students. Sprawled in the shadow of his towering form, I somehow managed not to be crushed. "Sorry, man," I said. "Man?" a distinctly female voice said. In my defense, I generally navigated school hallways with my head down and my eyes on the floor. It was safer that way. No eye contact meant I was openly submissive and less likely to catch the attention of a passing alpha male. Teenage guys are a lot like dogs in that way. But that meant I hadn't actually looked at the person I had run into. I just assumed she was a guy due to her height. When I finally looked up, I saw that the lamppost-sized person standing above me was definitely a girl. A black girl. And that's when I saw the mole. She loomed over me, looking down with an expression of disgust, her hands on her hips, but I couldn't help but think she was still kind of cute. But she was so tall. "Watch where you're going, twerp," Lily said as I struggled to get to my feet. "Sorry," I mumbled, my face burning. I didn't know whether Lily was angry or amused because I didn't dare look at her. There was a long, awkward moment of silence. I felt like a minnow squirming in the shadow of a long-legged crane, waiting to see if I would be deemed worth eating. She finally let out a huff, stepped around me, and continued on her way. Stumbling to the side of the hallway next to the bathroom door, I put my back to the wall and watched Lily stroll off. She towered over all the other students, and they scrambled to get out of her way. I let out a sigh of relief. That was close. The last thing I needed on the first day of school was to get beat up by a girl. I waited next to the bathroom until the crowd thinned and it was safe to continue. I was late to my next class, and the only seat left was on the front row. I hated sitting on the front row. I liked the back row. It wasn't because I was a troublemaker or anything, I just needed to stay invisible. Staying invisible is how I survived school. I didn't talk in class unless absolutely necessary, all my clothes were neutral in both color and style, and my hair was ordinary and unremarkable.